son, I love him for him, I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to back to back. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle.
All right, Coach, from the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Buffalo Bills. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
In your face.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Flushed out right. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities, you get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Now a 2-time 1,000-yard rusher for the Bears. This is Jordan Howard. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Set. 218. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now on 2nd and 13. Watson. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the gun, here's Watson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Telvin Smith. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Put them on the buses. Let's put that team on the bus.
Here's Wilson. It's complete to Snead. Space to maneuver at the 40. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Wilson. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Defense, let's go. 57.
Again, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first.
A big seam, and he might go all the way. The 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Jordan Howard, 83 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Gold with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
I'll go special! I'll go special! 36 power. Smart that. Turn up! Kill! Turn up!
Here's Wilson to throw again. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Check. 57 Mike 57. We own him.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he fires one incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. From the gun, it's Wilson. Good one, able to haul it in. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. Flush to his right, and he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Wilson going to throw again. Open man is Higbee, the tight end. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 21.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, 0-0-0.
Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Kyle Van Noy. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And able to find Higbee, it's complete. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. That's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson eluding the pressure right. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Tyler Higbee, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball can't be away from his body. It can't be loose. It can't be held like he's going to throw it. Tuck it away. Take care of it because he's going to run through a lot of traffic.
And if he doesn't take care of it, we're going to see less design runs like that. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 13-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles have taken the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for this.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Telvin Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Let's go. Number 53, Mike 53.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leonard Williams in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Wilson now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Got an open man. It's a noon one. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
10 yards on the pickup.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough cover.
Wilson, it's complete to Diggs. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 10 yards there and an Eagle 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Ready?
Operating from the gun, Wilson. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
57. Mike 57.
Friday.
Hey, let's get there. 57's the Mike. Mike 57.
To throw again is Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. 3rd and 11. And some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime.
Touch 50. One left.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping.
49, check 49, check 49.
Wilson now, operating from the gun. Going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Here's Watson. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
Intended for Jordan Howard. Incomplete. Results.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Here's Watson. And this is incomplete. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
They go with Howard again. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here?
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Howard has the 1st down and then some. And all the way down to the 5. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Doug Martin, his 1st touchdown on the year, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better... Make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Preston Smith able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gotta go, in and out, let's go. Watch the ship, watch the ship, watch the ship. Slam, slam, slam. Switch, switch, switch. 12.
To throw is Wilson. Throwing on 3rd and long. Hard throw, incomplete.
Good job by this defense, and now playing what they call complementary football. Offense scores a touchdown for them, so they come right out, force what should be a 3-and-out, and keep the momentum squarely on their side.
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. 49-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give them the first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
1st and 10 at the 30.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check the out, check the out. Alert. Check echo. Check 52's the mic.
Running from the gun with Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 19. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the...
Taking it right down Broadway. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Deshaun Watson, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bills have retaken the lead. Gold to add the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They had that lead, looked pretty comfortable in the first half, maybe got a little bit overconfident because that's gone now.
Almost takes us back to being kids, doesn't it? Because I know at some point your dad did the exact same thing mine did.
Okay.
It's okay to be confident, son, but overconfident, that's not a good thing. And that's maybe what we saw here. They thought they had this thing in hand, had full control, and guess what? They've got to find a way to get back to where they were before.
You think Papa Davis and Papa Godin would get along?
I think they'd get along just fine, and you know something? They'd still be giving us advice.
Absolutely. Throwing again on second down. Wilson looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. On 3rd and 1, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson, he's going to look for Allen. They've got his man complete. Past the 20, 10, and all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Keenan Allen, 82 yards. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
50 seconds to mine.
And we heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Kyle Van Noy picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. On third down, Wilson. Nunez got it, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On first down, Wilson. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Play action. Now Wilson. Flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 11.
Under 10. 14.
Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
And there's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
At their own 25-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. The field goal we just saw has us now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot of it.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means opening things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. 31 yards there and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Check 99. Check 99. Check. Freshman 4.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back them up 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They run with Howard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so
now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
all you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Gates with a grab. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Wilson on first down. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Let's go double count right here, double count. 51, 951, small. You can't block me. Good. You can't block me. Jim. 36 power.
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, but there's a flag down. So let's see what we've got. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game.
Second and 6 at the 29-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
You must be
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the fourth. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running with Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Murray. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. And so much for the game-winning 2-minute drive. I think that interception return there pretty much seals the deal.
And one thing to keep in mind, in this situation with the score that close, defense isn't backing off and just giving you easy throws. They're playing aggressively as well, and they end up picking that one off and sealing the deal for themselves.
So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't